Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 8 o'clock on Fox 50, apartment gunfight. Raleigh police investigating at an apartment where the resident and home invader exchanged fire. What we are learning from the scene on Gorman Street.
And this morning, starting out with some scattered light rain showers. Live look over Apex just showing the dampness of the day, but eventually the rain becoming a little more widespread. I'll show you when to budget a few extra minutes on your drive coming up.
And today is Memorial Day. Today there are opportunities across our area to honor fallen heroes. We'll share details of events in your community. Plus, making history, the Holly Springs Salamanders boast the first woman to start and hit in a Coastal Plain League game. How Alexia George is connecting with fans and reacting to her impressive milestone. That and so much more to get you caught up on this Monday, Memorial Day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 50. I'm Michelle McConaughey. A lot of you may have plans today. You're going to get outside. You want to know what the weather's going to be like. Meteorologist Chris Michaels walks us through the on and off rain we're going to see.
Yeah, plus side, you're not going to sweat it out today. It's going to be nice and cool. But yeah, you've got those sporadic showers around, especially centered around Lee, Harnett, Chatham, and Wake and Durham counties. I'm going to zoom into that where you see Apex is starting out pretty damp there on South Salem Street. You also notice that right along 540, if you were to head from Apex towards, say, Fuquay, Varina, and Garner, a little bit of light rain heading into the Bull City right now. But it's not a ton, right? It's very light. May get the windshield wiper going on the lowest setting. It's not going to be moving rapid speed like it would in a downpour. But occasionally throughout the afternoon, 20 to 30% of the area seeing rain, more like 50% heading into the evening. But here's the shock value. It's highs today in the 60s, where our averages are in the 80s. I'll show you what it'll take to get back to normal coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Chris. And right now, Raleigh police are investigating an exchange of gunfire at an apartment. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is on the scene on Gorman Street. Ali, in the last 20 minutes, police have called this a home invasion.
Yes, exactly right. Raleigh police told me just 20 minutes ago that the suspect actually kicked down the door. And you can see just where that happened in the distance. You can see police officers are standing at that door here. This is Woodall Apartments off of Gorman Street near NC State. Now we know that Raleigh police say that the suspect started shooting at this apartment complex and then a tenant then shot back. Now, take a look at this video from our WRAL breaking news tracker. This is a heavy police presence as officers investigated just a few hours ago. Now, we are still working to learn how many people were inside this apartment complex when this happened. We're also still working to learn more about the suspect. We know that the suspect has still not been caught. So we, of course, are going to keep you updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And breaking news, 3 homes and a car in Raleigh are damaged after police say someone shot into them. This happened on McGuire Street off of Perry Creek Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene around 11 o'clock last night. Police say nobody was hurt. One person is charged with shooting inside city limits. And new this morning, a 5-car crash slowed down early morning traffic on I-40. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker showing that scene near Rock Quarry Road around 3 o'clock this morning as Raleigh police investigated there. We know it all started with a car stopped in the road, causing a chain reaction of crashes. Police say there were people hurt in the crash. We are working to learn more about their injuries. And a man is in jail without bond after Rocky Mount police say he assaulted 2 officers. Police tell us officers on Koki Road saw Herman Dickens assaulting a woman in a front yard Saturday night. Police say as the officers intervened, Dickens hit both of them in the head multiple times. He then ran into the home where police say he shot himself in the foot. Dickens then came out and surrendered 2 officers. One of the officers received treatment at the hospital. Dickens was treated and released. His charges include 2 counts of assault on a law enforcement officer and assault on a female. And authorities say they have identified a suspect in a deadly shooting in Dudley. Wayne County deputies say they were called to Durham Lake Road Saturday night. That's where they found Billy Hardy Jr. He had been shot multiple times and died at the scene. And the city of Raleigh's summer pools are now open under modified hours. For now, the pools will be closed on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They will be open every day starting on June 16th. Staffing shortages are plaguing community pools. The city has issued a code yellow for pools, meaning there may be limited capacities, reduced hours, or even reduced amenities. The city of Raleigh is hiring lifeguards. Anyone 15 and older can apply. And Fayetteville's city-owned pools, they are opening today for the unofficial start of summer. The city's 4 pools will be open from 10 to 6 on Tuesdays through Saturdays and 1 to 6 on Sundays. The pools are typically closed on Monday but are open Memorial Day and Labor Day. The city's 14 splash pads open for the season on May 1st. And a reminder for you, banks and government offices will be closed today in observation of Memorial Day. There will be no trading on Wall Street and no mail will be delivered from the U.S. Postal Service. Costco is also closed today. Most other major retailers will stay open. And on this Memorial Day, people are gathering across the area to remember fallen service members. In Johnston County, the Rotary Clubs held a ceremony honoring heroes. They raised more than 1,500 flags sponsored by community members.
I think it's great, and it teaches me what Memorial Day really means and other stuff. And it's cool.
And the money raised by the Flags for Heroes display goes towards scholarships, Rotary Club service projects, and supports local nonprofits and small businesses. You can visit the display at the UNC Hospital on Veterans Parkway in Clayton through June 21st. And a Memorial Day ceremony is scheduled for this afternoon in Cumberland County. The ceremony will be held at the Veterans Memorial Park in Hope Mills. The service will include a guest speaker from Womack Army Medical Facility. It is scheduled to start at 4 p.m. And a new monument set to be unveiled as part of a ceremony in Knightdale. The event will be at the Veterans Memorial Knightdale Station Park at 11 this morning. The new monument will honor each branch of the military. And the Memorial Day holiday is all about remembering those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. There are even more events honoring fallen service members happening in our area today. We have a full list on our website, WRAL.com. Just search Memorial Day. The Holly Springs Salamanders are making history with a new addition to their roster. Alexia George is the first woman to start and hit in the Coastal Plain League. WRAL's Laura Levine gives us a look at Alexia's debut.
Collegiate summer baseball is in full swing, and here at the Ting Stadium, history-making swing for Alexia George is what we're talking about here. Excitement is buzzing around the triangle as Alexia George of the Holly Springs Salamanders becomes the first female player in the Coastal Plain League. You can see as hundreds of fans cheered her on this weekend when she made her debut. She's a senior catcher at St. Elizabeth University, and before playing there, she was the youngest player on the gold medal-winning U.S. baseball women's national team. George hopes to continue paving the way for others and shares what's motivated her to keep going.
Because they told me no. When I was 3 years old, I grew up playing t-ball with my brother, and I just wanted to enjoy the game, play it with my brother, and we played up until high school ball where he stopped playing. And each step of the way, each path that I went about, they told me I can't do it.
And yet she did it. And her mom says that her dream is to become a professional baseball player. Meanwhile, you can catch her tonight here at the Ting Stadium picking up some tickets here at the box office in person or online. The Salamanders are going to be playing the Catawba Valley Stars at 5:05 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Holly Springs.
It's now or never for the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. They must win tonight in Florida in Game 4 or else their season is done. The Canes are down 3-0 in the series after a 6-2 loss in Florida on Saturday. Only 4 teams in NHL history have come back from a 3-0 series deficit. The Canes will need to win tonight to avoid the sweep if they have any hope of becoming the 5th team to do it. Puck drop is tonight at 8. And after the game, we have expert analysis and exclusive insights. No one covers the Canes like WRAL. Watch Canes exclusive postgame live tonight at 11:25. A Smithfield Town Council member has died. The town says Marlon Lee died unexpectedly. He was 51 years old. In a post on social media yesterday, the town said in part his service and dedication to our community will always be remembered. Lee was serving his third term on the board. He graduated from St. Augustine's University in 1999 and coached varsity girls basketball at Clayton High School. Funeral plans have not been announced at this time. And heavy thunderstorms sweeping across the South and Midwest are causing problems for people traveling during this busy holiday. More than 1,500 flights were delayed across the country yesterday. Dozens of them were at Newark Liberty International, where federal officials are reducing the number of flights due to runway construction and recent system outages. Most holiday travel this weekend is happening on the road. AAA says 90% of travelers are driving. Today, AAA says the best time to avoid that heavy traffic is before 2 p.m. And locally, the NC Department of Transportation has paused most interstate construction projects for holiday travel. The pause will last through tomorrow night. And still ahead, Highway Inferno, a collision between a fuel tanker and a city bus caused major disruptions in Florida. We'll have the latest details on this fiery crash. Plus, still on the run, authorities still looking for 5 escaped convicts from Louisiana as they arrest people they say helped get them out. We'll have the latest on this new round of charges.
And more rounds of rain on the way over the course of the next several days, the most widespread of which coming in Tuesday. We'll time all this out, show you how much we expect coming up in less than 10 minutes. 8:14 now on a Monday morning, and we start out with a live look at the Azalea Gardens here just outside the station, and starting out with some rain. They're getting a good drink of water here early on this Memorial Day, and your gardens might be doing the same. It's kind of hit or miss in terms of the rain showers that we're seeing right now. Right on the Lee, Harnett, Chatham, and Wake County borders, that's where you see a decent steady rain developing and some light rain heading into Goldsboro. You also see some showers right around Carl Lake on the Mecklenburg County line there. Really, much of what we see is very sporadic, very light, with temperatures making it into the mid to upper 60s this afternoon. So that is more of your average for late October. It's also a little more typical of late May in places like Caribou, Maine. But if you're going to be doing a little bit of grilling out there from time to time, there's going to be some breaks in the action. It's just not going to feel like the unofficial start to summer. And it won't feel like it tomorrow either, because we're going to be on the cool side of this frontal system. Riding over top of that is going to be some more moisture on Tuesday, so we do expect more periods of rain. Some of that could be widespread and potentially heavy heading into Tuesday night. We'll time that out hour by hour with Futurecast. All of that is coming your way in just a couple minutes right here on Fox 50. In the meantime, you can find updates anytime on the WRAL weather app and WRAL.com.
Firebomb at U.S. Embassy in Israel. Federal prosecutors say 28-year-old Joseph Newmeyer, who was stopped at JFK International yesterday morning. Airport security says he was carrying Molotov cocktails. The dual U.S.-German national appeared in New York court. The prosecutor shared a disturbing post that he made on social media. He wrote, "Join me as I burn down the embassy in Tel Aviv, and death to America, death to
And Jeff Hogan in the WRAL Live Center. I'm going to take you back just a few seconds here in what is described as the cheese rolling race. Okay, we've been waiting for Abby Lampy. All right, and I'm going to cue it up here because it just happened a few seconds ago. It was a spectacular show, and you see as they're getting set, the women's group from right at the top of Cooper's Hill. Okay, and Abby is right in the middle. You'll see she's wearing red, and she is pointed out as the cheese. Look at her. She's right in front, coming down the hill in the lead. But then the woman described as wearing the mustard trousers overtakes NC State grad Abby Lampy. She looks like she's having a rough go of it, as it looks there. But mind you, she has won this in 2022. She won this last year, and this is the latest go of it. Just a few seconds ago, I kind of rolled back the tape so that we could watch that. The cheese was off. She was identified by some of the folks right in the middle of that race, and it was over with quickly. And she was the second one down, so she does not reclaim the title of champion cheese rolling. That's the downhill version. This is the fifth race of the day. They had uphill versions, downhill versions. That'll jar the senses just a little bit, though. Disappointed for Abby.
Yeah, but still impressive.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
sure.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, this morning, a man is in custody accused of plotting to firebomb a U.S. embassy in Israel. Federal prosecutors say 28-year-old Joseph Neumeier was stopped at JFK International yesterday morning. Airport security says he was carrying Molotov cocktails. The dual U.S.-German national appeared in New York court. Prosecutors shared disturbing posts Neumeier made on social media. He wrote, "Join me as I burn down the embassy in Tel Aviv," and "Death to America, death to Americans." The Justice Department statement said earlier posts included plans to assassinate President Trump. And President Trump is ramping up his criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russia launched a massive aerial assault on Ukraine over the weekend that hit targets in Kyiv and other cities around the country. On Sunday, the president lashed out at Putin on social media. He says Putin has, quote, "gone absolutely crazy." The president went on to say he's always had a good relationship with Putin, but something has happened to him. Trump criticized Russia's recent attack, saying the missiles and drones are hitting cities in Ukraine for no reason. And new arrests have been made as more people are accused of helping the escaped inmates from a New Orleans jail. The manhunt to capture 5 remaining escaped inmates continues. Over the weekend, 4 people were arrested in connection with the search. Among them, 27-year-old Tyshanae Randolph and 18-year-old Patricia Van Buren. They are charged with accessory after the fact. Both are being held on a $1 million bond. Since the escape, 10 others have been arrested. All are accused of helping the men who broke out. And an inferno on the highway after a fuel tanker crashed into a city bus on Florida's Interstate 595. Traffic shut down for hours as firefighters sprayed water and repellent in a race to contain this fire. Views from above showing the aftermath, a charred tanker and that bus seen smoldering. Davie Fire says one person was taken to the hospital. The investigation into the crash is still underway this morning. And a tornado shelter in Arlington, Tennessee, damaged as storms moved through that area yesterday. There was damage to the top layer of the roof of the safe room. Officials say there was no damage inside the building. Nobody was hurt. The town says that roof was damaged. That was damaged was there for aesthetic purposes, and the shelter is still protected. And new this morning, nearly a dozen people were hurt in a shooting in South Carolina. It happened in the Little River community near North Myrtle Beach around 9:30 last night. Police say 11 people were hospitalized. It is still unclear if every victim was shot. A North Myrtle Beach police officer was also injured while responding to the shooting when his own gun accidentally went off. The police department says he was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition this morning. And Cumberland County homeowners have just a few days left to appeal their new property values. The county tax office reports the value of the country's real estate went up an average of 65% between 2017 and now. You have until Wednesday to submit a formal appeal for your assessed value to the review board. The appeals period started March 25th. It'll end Wednesday at 5 p.m. And a class of middle school students in Asheville are giving back to the community, restoring local parks after Helene. Multiple recreation spots are back just in time for the summer. It took almost 8 months to make sure the parks were safe after Helene. Marin Leroy's middle school students made a visit to Gene Webb Park on Friday for more than just a lesson.
So the students have made all of these seed bombs with native wild meadow seeds. They're annual wildflowers, but they will reseed in a perennial fashion.
And neighbors say they are so happy to see the environment coming back after the storm. We all are. It is a huge effort to get everything back to the way it was. All right, let's get over to meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, showing the rain showers moving through right now.
Very light, but just enough to add to the gloominess so far on this Memorial Day morning. You see most of the showers right on the Harnett and Wake County line. This is around Willow Spring, Anger, and Lillington. It's also heading into areas like Smithfield. Got some showers around the area lakes as well, and temperatures in the 60s. Not exactly the greatest lake day, but it's better than the alternative off toward the south. You see that line of nasty storms in East Texas, Louisiana, and bordering with Arkansas. So south of this front, it's warm and humid. North of it, it is pretty cool. unstable, meaning that we don't really expect thunderstorms, but occasionally we'll see some sporadic light rain through at least midday. Now, we get a break in the action here and there, and then after the evening commute, more light rain showers will move near into the south of I-40. More moisture starts to move in from the south heading into Tuesday morning, so that could very well be a part of your commute. Maybe budget a few extra minutes, especially after the holiday weekend. Your lunch break tomorrow looks to be pretty wet. Even the afternoon and evening commutes on Tuesday look pretty wet, with scattered storms taking over Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So spread out over the next few days, looking at about 1 inch to perhaps 1.5 inches of rain. Doesn't all come at once. So that's actually some good news because it reduces the flood threat for us, but the most rain we see Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Starting out gloomy over RDU, looks like most flights are taking off pretty normally. And as we go throughout the day, the weather is anything but normal. Our average highs in the low to mid 80s will only manage to stay in the mid to upper 60s this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. Then by Wednesday, we slowly break out of it with highs in the 70s. Thursday through Sunday, that's more like it, looking a little drier with high temperatures 80 to 85.
All right, thank you, Chris. Making history, the Holly Springs Salamanders' Alexia George became the first woman to start a Coastal Plain League game. We will talk about her big debut. And student cell phones. Wake school leaders will work to iron out issues with their provisional cell phone policy.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Time now is 8:26 on your Monday. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Let's get right over to meteorologist Chris Michaels taking a look at what we can expect weather-wise today.
Yeah, what you see is what you get today, Michelle. It's plenty cloudy outside from our studio tower camera on Western Boulevard. And yeah, just a lot of gray out there and some sporadic showers from time to time. Temperatures across the board, mostly 60 to 65 degrees, and they may nudge up slightly from there. Cary, Holly Springs, 63, Garner at 62. Hour by hour rain chances. The amount of rain that we see, it's going to be about 20 to 40% of the area up until about 5 p.m. Slightly more showers as we head into the evening, and even more as we head into Tuesday. We'll be on the cool side of this, so I'm not expecting severe weather, but Tuesday does look to be pretty wet at times. We're going to help you plan for future commutes this week, show you if you need to make any adjustments over on Fox 50 in a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Police are looking for a suspect after shots were fired at a Raleigh apartment building. It happened at Markham and Gorman Streets near the NC State campus. Raleigh police say someone fired shots inside an apartment and the person inside shot back. Nobody was hurt. And new this morning, a 5-car crash slowed early morning traffic on I-40. It happened near Rock Quarry Road as Raleigh police investigated. Police say people were hurt in the crash. We are working to learn more about those injuries. And Raleigh City pools are now open under modified hours. The pools will still be closed Tuesdays and Thursdays through June 16th. The city has issued a code yellow for pools due to staffing shortages, meaning there may be limited capacities, reduced hours, or reduced amenities. Next on Fox 50, people across our viewing area honoring fallen service members on this Memorial Day. And up next on Today, highlighting a high school senior and the baseball league they started for people with disabilities.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, a home invasion leads to a gunfight. What we know about the suspect, who is still at large.
And more breaking news, random shots. A person is charged with shooting into 3 homes and a car in Raleigh.
And showers this morning remain scattered on what's going to be a cool Memorial Day. We'll show you how these showers progress through the rest of the holiday weekend and show you when we expect more widespread rain. That's coming up in a bit.
Plus, must win, down 3 games in a best of 7. It is do or die for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. We'll tell you all about that matchup coming up. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Let's get right back to meteorologist Chris Michaels. A lot of people may have those outdoor plans today. A lot of people have off from work and school. Tell us what they can expect.
Yeah, I don't think we're expecting a pool day or even a lake day today. It's just going to be cloudy with some of these sporadic showers. That really sets the tone for the day. That's live outside our studio right now. And you see some of those showers around Fuquay, Garner, and Willow Spring, around Anger. That's all heading toward Wilson's Mills and Smithfield. A few showers in the north part of Wake County County, but those are very light. Broaden out the view and you see there's more of the same on the Hoke and Cumberland County line, and more showers heading up toward Carr Lake. All of us in the low to mid 60s right now. Maybe mid to upper 60s by this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, which is really your average high for late October. This is the cause of it, something that's called the wedge or cold air damming, where the air literally gets wedged up against the Appalachians, creates this kind of dome of gray sky, cool air, and eventually more rain on Tuesday. We'll time that out for you coming up.
All right, thank you, Chris. Breaking news, the police presence is dwindling at the scene of a reported shooting near NC State. This happened on Gorman Street around 5 o'clock this morning. WRAL Breaking News Tracker reporter Ali Kadlabar is live on the scene for us. Ali, police say shots were exchanged at an apartment complex.
Yes, exactly right. And as you said, just in the past 10 minutes, we've seen the Wake County forensics team leave the scene, definitely dwindling police presence. But what we know right now is that the suspect actually kicked down the door right there. You're seeing it. Police still around this area investigating. Now, Raleigh police tell me that the suspect fired at the apartment complex around 5 a.m. and a tenant then fired back at the suspect around 5 a.m. this morning. Now, no one got hurt this morning, and this is Woodall Apartments as well, but no one got hurt, and we do know that the suspect is still at large. So we are working to learn who the suspect is and who the tenant was, as well as how many people were inside. We are going to keep you updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And more breaking news. 3 homes and a car in Raleigh are damaged after police say someone shot into them. This happened on McGuire Street off Perry Creek Road. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on the scene around 11 o'clock last night. Police say nobody was hurt. One person is charged with shooting inside city limits. And more breaking news. We are working to learn how many people were injured after this crash on westbound I-40. Take a look at this video from the Breaking News Tracker here. The Highway Patrol tells us 5 cars were involved in this. This happened about 3 o'clock this morning. A vehicle crashed into the car that was in the road, causing a chain reaction of crashes. Highway Patrol tells us there were injuries. Luckily, nobody died. And today is Memorial Day, and there is more to this day than just barbecues, right? Several events are scheduled today to help you honor those who gave their lives for our country. This afternoon, the historic Oakwood Cemetery will hold its annual Memorial Day observance. This is video from last year's event, which marked the 100th anniversary of Raleigh's observance of Memorial Day. The community is invited to gather today at 4 o'clock at the Field of Honor 1. This meaningful 45-minute ceremony will feature a keynote address, music, and the traditional placing of the memorial wreath. And in about an hour, the town of Apex will honor U.S. military personnel who lost their lives. The event, organized by Apex American Legion Post 124, it takes place at 9:30 at the Downtown Service Memorial. Members of Apex Public Safety, the town council, and the community will share words of reflection. In case of rain, the ceremony will move to Apex Fire Station 1 on North Salem Street. And the community is also invited to attend a Memorial Day remembrance at Veterans Freedom Park in Cary. The ceremony will feature remarks from Cary Town Council and special guest speaker Paul Berry, who served in the United States Marine Corps for 30 years. Berry is the co-chair of the Governor's Challenge to prevent suicide among service members, veterans, and their families. And this day is about remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. There are several events honoring fallen service members happening in our area today. We have a full list on our website, WRAL.com. Just search Memorial Day. Well, Wake County has a history-making baseball player, and tonight you can catch her in action. That's right. This weekend, Alexia George became the first woman to start a Coastal Plain League game as part of the Holly Springs Salamanders. WRAL's Laura Levine shares Alexia's debut.
Collegiate summer baseball is in full swing, and here at the Ting Stadium, history-making swing for Alexia George is what we're talking about here. Excitement is buzzing around the triangle as Alexia George of the Holly Springs Salamanders becomes the first female player in the Coastal Plain League. You can see as hundreds of fans cheered her on this weekend when she made her debut. She's a senior catcher at St. Elizabeth University, and before playing there, she was the youngest player on the gold medal winning U.S. baseball women's national team. George hopes to continue paving the way for others and shares what's motivated her to keep going.
Because they told me no. When I was 3 years old, grew up playing t-ball with my brother. And I just wanted to enjoy the game, play it with my brother. And, we played up until high school ball where he stopped playing. And each step of the way, each path that I went about, they told me I can't do it.
And yet she did it. And her mom says that her dream is to become a professional baseball player. Meanwhile, you can catch her tonight here at the Ting Stadium picking up some tickets here at the box office in person or online. The Salamanders are going to be playing the Catawba Valley Stars at 5:05 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Holly Springs.
It's been 5 years since George Floyd was murdered by a Minneapolis police officer. The community honored Floyd's memory with a music festival and candlelight vigil. Speakers talked about the need for justice for all and finding comfort in their pain. George Floyd died after being detained by police. His final moments caught on video as he was held down by a Minneapolis police officer's knee. Floyd's death ignited widespread protests around the world. Derek Chauvin was later convicted of murdering Floyd. And here in Raleigh, George Floyd's relatives also reflected on his memory and the work that still lies ahead. Floyd was born in Fayetteville and still has family in the area. His family has founded an organization known as the Floyd Family Center, the nonprofit dedicated to shining the light on inequities by underserved and underfunded communities. Floyd's uncle, Roger Floyd, also visits a memorial dedicated to George in Raleigh's Freedom Park from time to time to reflect.
This memorializes George, if you will. Like you said, it's etched here. And as long as this property survives, this is remembrance of him.
Floyd also worked with Raleigh police to make reforms that he says would keep the community safer while keeping police responsible. And President Donald Trump is once again delaying tariffs on imported goods. This time he's backing down on a 50% tariff on EU imports. The president moved the implementation from June 1st until July 9th to buy time for negotiations from the 27-member bloc. Last year, the United States ran a $236 billion trade deficit with the EU. Following news of the delay, stock markets in Asia posted modest gains this morning. And new this morning, at least 40 people are dead after an Israeli airstrike on a shelter in Gaza. The escalating violence comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. During the meeting, she expressed unwavering support for the state of Israel. Noem will also attend a memorial ceremony for the 2 U.S. Embassy staffers killed in D.C. last week, Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram. And Pope Leo XIV paid homage to his predecessor, the late Pope Francis, in Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major. Pope Francis chose the location as his burial place, breaking with the tradition of pontiffs being entombed in St. Peter's Basilica inside Vatican City. The visit marked the end of the day when Pope Leo was installed Bishop of Rome. It's one of many titles held by the Pope. And covering Wake County this week, school leaders will work to iron out details about the new cell phone policy. Board members requested some changes to a proposal requiring all cell phones to be silenced and tucked away. The board tentatively voted to restrict cell phone use in the classroom, and they still have to work out specifics over items like smartwatches before putting the official policy in place. It is unclear how the district will enforce the policy or if the board will have a physical device to put the cell phones in. The board will vote on the official policy next month. Tuition hikes and budget cuts are likely on the way for the UNC system. Republican legislators are writing a new state budget with a focus on new tax cuts. But those cuts have to be paid for somehow. Lawmakers plan to take at least $100 million from higher education. In-state tuition has not risen in 9 years. The average student pays $7,300 a year in tuition and fees, but that could soon increase. At the same time, that universities are also asked to make large cuts. Our NC Capitol team has a full breakdown of the budget plans and the reaction from state lawmakers online on our website, WRAL.com. Time now is 8:41. Switching to electric. If you're considering a change from gas to battery-powered lawn tools, 5 on Your Side has a look at the top tested battery-powered tool sets, which could actually save you some money. And a Space Needle upgrade, a unique feature now open to the public at the iconic Seattle landmark. We'll talk about the new double-decker elevator and explain how this is not the end of the Space Needle makeover. Plus, will rain dampen your Memorial Day plans? Chris Michaels is ahead with sporadic showers in the forecast.
Coming up on 8:45, overcast over North Hills right now, but mainly dry in this part of Wake County. A little bit different in the southern part toward Fuquay and Willow Spring. Also the case is you get a little bit closer to Holly Springs and Apex, traveling on 64 from Pittsboro. You'll probably encounter some light rain out there. It's very patchy so far this morning, but wouldn't hurt to have maybe a windbreaker or an umbrella, something like that. Out the door temperatures are mainly in the 60s and our wettest time of day up until about 10 this morning. As we head toward midday and the afternoon, showers will be more isolated, but it's going to stay cloudy and it's going to stay cool. And we'll stay wet at times over the next few days thanks to that storm system passing off toward the north. I'll show you when we see the heaviest rain and how much we expect coming up in about 5 minutes.
And back here in the WRAL Live Center, it is turning into the shove seen around the world. This is Emmanuel Macron, French president, on his plane right there. And the door opens and you see him wave. Now watch, you're going to get a closer look at this right now. It's his wife, Bridget, on the plane with him. They just landed in Vietnam to start their Southeast Asia tour. It looks like she shoves him right in the face there. The couple, officially, they said that they were horsing around. That is the word out of the French president's office right there. But when they got off the plane and came down the steps, he appeared to offer his arm to his wife, Bridget, and she did not take it.
Uh-oh. All right. Thanks, Jeff. Well, if you've been thinking about switching from gasoline to battery-powered lawn equipment, now is as good a time as ever. 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur shares what Consumer Reports found in their latest performance testing.
Consumer Reports found there are battery-powered options that outperform gas options, and they can actually save you some money.
The appeal of a battery platform is that you can get all of your tools from a single brand, then use the batteries interchangeably and save about 30% on the purchase price.
The tools from Ego's Power Plus 56-volt battery platform consistently earned top marks from CR's testers. Another option, this push mower, which runs on Ryobi's 40-volt HP battery. The platform also offers top-performing string trimmers, leaf blowers, hedge trimmers, and chainsaws. And if you have a long list of fixes and house projects on your docket, consider this Makita LXT platform. It powers a whole suite of DIY-friendly tools, including this heavy-duty cordless drill, which aced CR's tests. Before you buy, check reviews. Some battery-powered options operate a little differently from gas, and you'll want to make sure you're comfortable with that difference. Keely Arthur, 5 on Your Side.
Seattle's famous Space Needle is getting a makeover. An all-glass double-deck elevator is now open to the public. The Space Needle staff says the Skyliner is the first of its kind in North America. It was added as part of a privately funded $100 million modernization project. 2 more double-deck elevators are scheduled to open by 2028. Early concepts of the Space Needle actually included the double-deck elevator, but there was not enough time or technology to make it back in 1961. Well, this weekend, the National Park System welcomed visitors for the unofficial start to summer. But with cuts to federal workers and scaled back services, the big question is whether the parks are ready for more visitors. NBC's Morgan Chesky has a closer look.
Our nation's parks promising pristine views, taking changes in stride amid a busy summer season. Outside Zion National Park, visitors found bumper-to-bumper traffic already backing up area roads.
And there's definitely a million people going to Zion today.
Now, as summer heats up, multiple parks sharing changes. At Yosemite, visitors arriving between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. will need reservations for entry, and many are filling up fast. In Tennessee, 12 million visitors converged last year on Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This year, 6 of 10 campgrounds are closed until further notice. At Utah's Arches, reduced staff means fewer trash cans and picnic tables. The change similar to New Mexico's Carlsbad Caverns, where ranger cave tours are suspended.
It's certainly been a roller coaster.
Lee Zimmerman, who runs 3 lodges that all serve Yosemite, says bookings haven't been this low since the pandemic.
If this doesn't pick up, where does that put you?
It puts us in a really difficult situation. So if you don't get the traffic when you need it, it creates a pretty dire financial situation.
He tells us fears over park cuts plus economic uncertainty have hurt his business, adding the fraught political climate has cut down on international visitors too. Still, as we await holiday weekend numbers out of Yosemite, early reports suggest things ran smoothly, still offering the magic of a national park getaway.
Maybe it won't be in the same numbers we're used to, but we've weathered plenty of storms in our 25 years plus in the national park, so we'll weather this one as well.
Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Well, it's certainly not going to feel like summer today. It's cool out there. Meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Cool and just not so nice today.
It really isn't. No, I mean, you can take advantage of it to maybe take care of some chores or take a nap if you get the opportunity to. It's great weather for that. You see that especially in southern Wake County. Not really concerned about rain for the next little bit in Rollsville, Wake Forest, or Zebulon, but showers will continue off and on in Fuquay, Holly Springs, maybe parts of Apex, Willow Spring, and Garner, and those moving into parts of Johnston County. You see Smithfield and Selma right there, and mostly south of US 64 in Chatham County, especially as you go towards Siler City. Most of our rain is, again, just south of that point. Back up the view a little bit. Some exceptions to the rule would be the showers around Roxborough. Those have really been kind of off and on around places like Carr Lake, and that'll continue for the next 1 to 2 hours or so. Futurecast showing just kind of that sporadic nature of the showers that we see and how light they are. So if you're driving around today, it's not like the windshield wiper is going to be going at rapid speed, but you may just have it on from time to time. Futurecast continues to show the decrease in showers up until 5 p.m., but after 6 or 7 p.m., more showers, mainly light, will be south of I-40. Then heading into the overnight, we start to pull in more moisture over this shallow layer of cool air that we've got in place. So after 5 or 6 a.m. tomorrow, I do expect more numerous showers, potentially some heavier pockets, maybe a rumble of thunder in the Sandhills tomorrow afternoon, with a better chance of maybe some rumbles of thunder tomorrow night and heading into early Wednesday morning. So we'll keep tabs on that. That's going to be your wettest time or heaviest rain that we see. Now, in terms of rain totals spread out over the week, most of the state looking about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and that's what you see in the yellow shading there with lower totals as you go into the Ohio River Valley. But here at home, a nice helping of rain, most of it beneficial, most of it really not causing any flood concern. Live look over Carr Lake. You would love to hit the lake on Memorial Day. I know it's something a lot of us like to do. It's not the most ideal lake day with temperatures holding steady in the 60s. Maybe grilling, you're going to have some time to do that, some breaks in the action. Temperatures, though, what you see is what you get. Highs only 63 to 69 degrees today, Raleigh at 67. And we'll pick out that number specifically. 67 is 15 degrees below average for this time of year in the Triangle. And we can say much of the same for Fayetteville with your high of 69. Your average high is 84. Now, we get close to that later in the week, but it's going to take some time because tomorrow is just as cool, maybe slightly cooler than today, and rain chances are high from time to time. Wednesday, temperatures mid to upper 70s. By Thursday, we're back in the low to mid 80s. Looking ahead to the weekend, trending drier and at least seasonably warm with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s each afternoon.
That sounds nice. All right, thanks, Chris. Before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.